Hi. Okay, so I decided I'm just going to do this now, or else I don't know when I'll start this Bible study. To be honest, I'll probably talk myself out of it. So, figured I would just start now, and I'll just do a really mini quick one off of just what I was reading right now. So, I'm currently in the book of John, and I'll just read like the first little bit and just talk about the things that I get from it. But first, I'm just going to pray, just because, man, always need prayer. So, God, I just thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to share your word with people. God, I pray for wisdom and discernment. I pray that I just can glorify you in all of this, and that I don't make it about me, but that I really shine a light on the kingdom in everything that I do, God. Lord, please just give me strength, give me eyes to see and ears to hear. And if this even helps one person, God, that's all I care about. But just please, Lord, help me discern your words, and just give me all the right words to say. In Jesus' name. Okay, this is awesome. So I've already gone through the book of John this week, if you watched my last little video. But I started reading it again, and I started underlining so many more things, and then asking so many more questions as I was underlining it. So I don't have all the answers. Just know that I'm literally just going through this and asking questions and reading along. So thank you for joining me. Okay, here we go. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him, all things were made. Without him, nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. I love all of that, all of it. But that last line I just keep sitting on. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. That's verse 5. So that's John 1, verse 5. That to me is really important, because I get a lot of questions about having kids in a time like this. Like, I know there are a lot of people who are afraid to have kids because the state that the world's in, it just feels really dark and scary. I know that, and I don't know when Jesus is coming back. I don't know when the end is happening, but I know, like it says, in the end of times, people call good bad and bad good. And I do feel like that is for sure happening. I feel like we live in a very topsy-turvy world. But that verse right there is just so powerful. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. So if anybody is dealing with anxiety or fears or stresses or just any sort of in the state of the world that we're in, darkness has not overcome it. There is darkness. We're always going to have to deal with darkness. It sucks. Bad things happen all the time that we just can't explain, other than, sin is in the world, and everyone is going to fall short, some in much larger ways than others. And there's a very real enemy at play. But just remembering, Jesus is so much greater than all, so much stronger than all. And just going back to that verse, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. I hope that right there just gives you a sense of his peace, just that his feet, praying that his full peace just falls upon you hearing that line. I also have no idea how much I'm reading right now, because I feel like, man, just in that like verse 5, there's just so much goodness right there. But I'll keep going for a little bit, because I think I'm only on for like a couple minutes so far, or probably more like 5 minutes because I talk a lot. All right, there was a man sent from God whose name was John. I actually think that's hilarious, and I'm just gonna say why. Unless we just have it super wrong, and this is where we all have to be doing our research. Don't just take my word for it, please. But the disciples, growing up, I always thought that the disciples were like old guys who followed Jesus around, but they were not, okay? And I actually, this like not wrecked me, but like it really took a toll on me because I had to like go back and be like, all right, Lord, I feel like my faith is actually being tested right now. So I don't know the exact age, but I think to be a disciple back in Jesus' days, you were between like 13 years old and like 35 years old. So if you were following a Jewish leader and he was discipling you, they were young. They were not these old guys that they depict in like all the Bible cartoons growing up, right? So, you know, reading just this, there was a man sent from God whose name was John. I think John was only like 15 years old, which, you know, like, yes, like back in that day, he was totally a man when you like think of all the things that he did and how, I mean, I don't know, like they weren't like kids today where they're like, I'm sorry, kids today need some like toughening up. But they didn't have iPads and all that other crap. Like these were men, but he was only like a youngin', I think, to my knowledge. I think he was like a teenager. Anyway, that was just my sidetrack, my tangent. But I do also want to say that that was actually really hard for me to grasp because I did always think, okay, it's these old guys who were following Jesus. But now that I think of these guys as young guys, I'm like, okay, God, like these young guys were the guys following Jesus. And I felt a little bit like I had been tricked. And I had to like go back and reread it. And then when I started rereading it, thinking of like the different ages, it actually was so much more powerful and like meant so much more because, you know, Jesus tells us to be like children. Not that all these disciples were children, but like he tells us to have faith like kids. And because kids aren't yet, not duped by the world, but like jaded, you know, like numbed by the world yet, they're able to just see way clearer than we can at a lot of times. I think we overcomplicate things. You know, one of the things I think that this was the Pharisees' biggest issue was that like, look, theology this is amazing, but when it's only this and like zero relationship, then like you've missed the whole point. Like they missed the fact that Jesus was right in front of them because they were so focused on just the written word and making sure that we do X, Y, and Z. And it's like, it's a beautiful balance. Like we have to have this. This is so important. His word is everything. But it's nothing if we're only focused on the theology. And that's what's beautiful about little kids is you can teach them something and they're not so focused on like the XYZ of it. They're like, that's so cool. And look at this beautiful creation. Like they're able to just have way more of a balance than we do. I don't know if this is making sense. Anyway. Where was I? I don't even know where I said. So there was a man, see my tangents, you guys, it's gonna be a long Bible study. So I'll make tonight really, really quick. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. He came as a witness to testify concerning that light so that through him all might believe. He himself was not the light. He came only as a witness to the light. I'll probably read just a little bit more and then we'll call it for tonight. But I just love this so much. The true light that gives light to everyone was coming into the world. He was in the world, and though the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him. Though the world was made through him, this guy literally made the world did not recognize him. That's such a good line. I'm gonna I gotta get it again. I just wonder if, I don't know, I feel like if Jesus were here right now, he would be such a bright light because, there is a lot of darkness, but I do feel like he would be such a bright light. Like, how could we not recognize him? But also in a day where everything is so, I don't know, we get like distracted. We're so distracted all the time. We're so in our own self-righteousness that I would pray that we would recognize him, but I don't know how different it would be from back then. I think he would get in a lot. I think if Jesus were here right now, obviously, I don't know. I feel like he would get in the way of a lot of leaders. I think a lot of leaders probably would not like that he was here because he is messing up the way they do things, and he'd definitely be flipping some tables. I hope he'd be flipping some tables because we could use that. Sorry, man. So he sent through him. He came always witness to the true light, good light. Sorry, the world did not recognize him. He came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him. Yet to all who did receive him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. Children born not of natural descent, nor of human decision or a husband's will, but born of God. And this is the last verse I'll read tonight. The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. I love that. Full of grace and truth. That's actually super important. I feel like we could do a whole Bible study on grace and truth, because truth without grace can just be mean. And we just need so much love. So much love. I'm going to get ahead of myself because there's something later in John that, to me, as Christians, so many Christians miss this, and it just breaks my heart. So John 13, verse 34, and we'll get into this later, but this is just like a skip ahead. A new command I give you. This is Jesus now. Love one another as I have loved you. So you must love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples if you love one another. That is huge, huge. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples if you love one another. He's not sitting here saying, if you love people who love you, they'll know that you're my disciples. He's not saying if you love the nice people, or if you love the pretty people, or if you love the rich people. He's saying love one another. And it is so key. If every Christian walked around with that written on their hearts truly, I think this world would look very, very different. Super, super different. So I'm just going to say, I'm going to leave you with that. A new command I give you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples if you love one another. So please, tomorrow, go look like a disciple. Test it out. Love you guys.